Hello everybody, welcome back. Another beautiful day here of Dota 2 action as we kick off the Eastern European DPC Tour 3. Waga, can you believe we're in Tour 3 already? The time's flying so quickly.
It goes fast, man. I can't believe it. It's been a lot of great Dota, though, and I'm still hyped. You know, like I said last time, that hyped to have these games on new patch as well, where a lot of it is exciting. We don't really know what's going to happen. There are new ideas being tested daily here. A lot of it is being brewed in the high-ranking pubs right now. I see these players all the time in my games, and interested to see what they're going to bring to the table here today.
Yeah, I mean, already we've got a draft unfolding in front of us. It's going by very quickly as we'll get into our first series of the day. Nemiga Gaming taking on UALEIKUMNIHAO to try and find out where, you know, two of these kind of middling teams, they're probably not looking towards the top two spots, but maybe that, you know, third place position, getting to the middle of the table, stay in Div 1 for sure is going to be the aim here for these guys, because UALEIKUMNIHAO coming up from Div 2 and Nemiga being, you know, one of these teams that have kind of jumped from Div 1 and Div 2, looking to try and secure their spots. And there we have the draft, which honestly, Waga, you were saying the first 4 bans and the first 3 picks were pretty much instant. Then it took a while for this Batrider.
I am thrown off, sorry. I didn't know they have... This is a Scandinavian meme voice line. I got thrown off by Vasil here, throwing out "Bästa jag kan inte svimma," which is a great meme about Swedes making fun of Danes. So for me, being Swedish, this is hilarious that they threw that one out there. Anyway, into the game here. They're really rushing through the drafts, and what we've ended up with here is a bit interesting. The Doom Batrider versus the Terrorblade Skywrath is reminiscent of what we saw in day 1, right? We saw the Terrorblade getting sort of the 4 Protect 1 treatment, but he was against exactly this, Lasso and Doom, and he struggled to deal with it. He was just getting hit hard by those disables. So I'm worried here for UALEIKUMNIHAO that they don't put everything into the same, you know, hero here, trying to invest hard in TB being their hard carry, but try and have some other big impact stuff to play around as well, because he could get shut down by this.
Yeah, because when you're against Doom and Bat, you want to give them a hard time. You want to give them choice paralysis, where it's like, here are 3 cores that you kind of have to Doom all of them, or Lasso all of them. You're going to have to choose one, and then the other ones can start hitting into you. And I guess another thing is, well, I was going to say maybe look for some saving supports to keep Terrorblade alive. You know, we didn't see too much in the way of that in that previous game. We needed itemization to do it, and they just pick a Spirit Breaker. So they're going to go through aggression rather than safety here and try and play that 4-man strong gank squad, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, it can be nice. Spirit Breaker is a great hero this patch. Fantastic pickup in general. He got buffed in so many different ways. Definitely one of the big breadwinners here of the patch. You know, like he's looking strong. And this does set up the gank potential with Skywrath and Spirit Breaker. I also wouldn't be against the idea of flexing this to a +3 Spirit Breaker if needed. Playing core Spirit Breaker can also work in this patch with the changes that he's received. He's pretty damn good in multiple different roles. Nemiga, though, they're going to react with the techies here, adding a ton of damage into their potential catch from Batrider. Techies type hero can burst someone really quickly, so a Lasso can be enough duration to bring someone down. Also a lot of magic damage against TB, which is usually what you want to draft, right? TB mitigates all the physical damage so well, but look at Nemiga. So far, that's like 0 physical damage. I guess you have Universal and techies, he scales, but this is a really bursty lineup from Nemiga.
Yeah, and then looking at the lanes as well, this Techie's Doom lane is just fear. It is scary. So spooky with Scorched Earth and Blast Off with the sticky bombs. Do a lot of magic damage there. You know, looking at a position 5 here to protect the Terrorblade is a little challenging now. Like you said, there's an awful lot of magic damage there to just burst him completely.
Man. We also haven't seen yet, but another hero that has been very popular as well as made his way up in popularity has been Legion Commander. That hero is just, you know, finding his way into a lot of drafts. And UALEIKUMNIHAO, I'm actually thinking that they could run it. They have Skywrath, and it gives them one more saving tool against the Lasso as well to save the TB possibly. So you could run like mid Legion Commander is very popular right now. And against Morphling, it can be good. You have global Linken's break from Spirit Breaker, so even if he gets Linken's against your duel, you could always coordinate that. An option here for sure. But Nemiga, revealing that Morphling, that's going to be their carry. Feels a little bit scary picking Morphling into Sky, I think, but I suppose they feel confident with the matchup that they have here.
Yeah, and I guess when you're against Terrorblade and Spirit Breaker, you're going to feel pretty good stealing stuff with your Morph there as well. Like, we had the old days of Earthshaker Morphling, right? But Spirit Breaker, a similar story where you're just charging at people.
Yeah, or stealing TB and getting meta. It's
Yes.
a really big one. And also, of course, the Conjure image on Morphling. He has great options here. Venomancer makes his way in here. Definitely a great hero against Batrider and Doom. These heroes are always going to be looking for that blink initiation, looking for an angle. And just throwing down those Venowards is a great way to just give yourself a little bit of safety. This does mean that UALEIKUMNIHAO's team is pretty low on stuns, though, since you're picking Veno and Skywrath, and TB, of course, just wants to farm. So now it's really just Spirit Breaker having any form of lockdown, and you're against Morphling. Thankfully, they do have silence from Skywrath, which counts for something, but it's not a stun. And sometimes that is what you need when the BKBs come online. You know, that silence, Ancient Seal becomes a little bit more useful, or more useless.
Yeah, huge value from TP scrolls this game. Just TP home, get away if they got no stuns. A little sad, honestly, though, because we were talking pre-game, pre-series about this position 4 Clinks that has started to become the scourge of professional Dota recently. We've seen it a lot in Western Europe, and of course, both these teams have been playing it in pubs and in games. This time around, it looks like we're going to ignore it in game 1, a little unfortunately, but maybe later on in the series we'll see it.
I mean, there's still a little bit of a hope for Nemiga to maybe pick it, since they, you know, do have what looks like 3 core heroes already. They could pick a second support. Techie Clink's not the most conventional combination, perhaps, but, you know, there's still some glimmer of hope for the hero to make it through, is all I'm saying.
10 seconds.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they want one of these, you know, Clockwork Band there would have been a somewhat ideal pick. One of these kind of strength brawling heroes to sit in front of the Morphling in lane at the very least. Or kick off fights, so you don't necessarily need to show your Doom and Batrider too early on in these engagements.
Oh, that was a great
that's
ban
a good
too.
ban, yeah.
Yeah, ET has been fantastic lately. He got very, very buffed and is really strong currently, and he destroys the TB, of course. All that minus armor from his order would allow him to just shred through him. So good target ban there.
10 seconds remaining.
Curious to see what Nemiga are going to go with. I like what you said there about Clockwork, you know, would have fit them well. Since it's obviously banned out, you look towards similar stuff. Maybe there's potential for Tusk even to come in for some of that, you know, lockdown. You could also turn around a little bit and say, okay, you want Shaker perhaps, you know? They're going to go Rubik. Well, it's more control, more lockdown, that's for sure. And they have some decent stuff to steal this game, I want to say. Not amazing, but stealing anything from Skywrath feels really good. In some teamfights, you can maybe look for a clutch Sunder steal from Rubik, and he can just turn it around on TB again.
Yeah, I mean, really enabling the Morphling here. Like, you've got Lasso, Drag Back, you've got Telekinesis to allow Morphling to stick on a target. I also really like having Rubik against Spirit Breaker, that instant disable to stop charges.
Oh, yeah.
Making sure that the one stun that they do have can be cancelled by your support hero. Always feels super nice. But last pick here coming in for UALEIKUMNIHAO. They've got their carry. We don't know where Spirit Breaker Venom are going, but Skywrath's likely the pos 4. So it's going to be the Ember Spirit for their mid lane.
Okay, so I picked the Ember into the Batrider here. This matchup is tricky. Both of them are obviously very high-ranking players, but it's a very volatile matchup that can go either way. I think generally I favor Batrider a little bit, but Embers can win out on that matchup as well, but it's really about the execution.
Yeah, I feel like the most common scenario for that matchup that I've seen is the Bat kills the Ember under his tower and then dies. Yeah. Like, quite often you're just trading your life to get the extra bit of experience and gold.
Which Bat is happy with, right? So again, Batrider usually comes out on top a little bit in that matchup. So I think you should have a good time, and Ember was picked into it. So normally you want to counter the enemy when you pick into it, but he will fit pretty well overall into the rest of the draft. Now that's one more target that they want to use Doom on. They can't just Doom the TB and be done with it. Then Ember is just popping off. So there's always a little bit of value there.
Yeah, is it the same kind of build we have on this Ember in his matchups against Puck and things like this, where he knows it's a bit nasty? Just go for the Orb of Corrosion rush and just try and slight spam them?
Yeah, I think that could be really good. I also think the big item this game could be the Spirit Vessel rush. You can do that on Ember, or you can do it on Spirit Breaker. But Ember mid with the Urn Rush into Spirit Vessel against the Morphling is very, very good. You can go for different builds. I've seen even the Spirit Vessel into Vanguard Ember mid. Vanguard, of course, on every hero right now.
Of course.
Very popular. But I want to see him brawl and create a lot of space for TB.
That's going to be the plan, right? These 4 heroes, very adept just fighting, not necessarily in need of big key items. They don't need a lot of gold. They just need to hit their levels. We're looking at level 6 on Ember Spirit. And maybe, like level 3 on a Spirit Breaker could be charging around and causing a bit of havoc there. And this Venomancer, quite a slow hero when he's out on the map, but if you're able to pick your spots, you can set up for things. But before we get ourselves into Game 1, a quick message from EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
There it is again.
And off we go, yeah. The chat line from Vanzi coming out. Waga, I saw your face as we were transitioning there. You got something to say?
I mean, no, nothing to say, man. Sorry, Vazia is just countering me with this voice line spam, man. I'll have to share this video for you later to enjoy.
Yeah, what does it mean? So it's just a reference to a meme?
Okay, yeah, it's a bit of a meme, but basically it's an old man taking care of his grandson, right? And his grandson is like, I can't ride a bike, and the granddad just laughs and said, oh, I can't ride a bike either, and then he laughs a little bit. And then they do something else, and he's like, I can't do this, and the granddad is like, oh, I can't do that either. And then the kid jumps in the water, and he's like drowning. He's like, Christopher, I can't swim. And then he's just like, me neither, and he stands there laughing while his kid is drowning, basically.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's a good one.
Swedish humor? Only surpassed by German humor. Well, anyway. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if we have a clash around bounty runes. I really do like this WALEIKUM lineup in terms of aggression capability. I just need to get out of the laning stage reasonably unscathed. I feel like this is the kind of lineup where if they get toppled in the first 3 or 4 minutes, things go downhill pretty quickly, would you say?
It could, yeah. I mean, in general, I think this game, the way that both teams' drafts are, I think it's a real fight for control. I mean, we've seen Terrorblade take over very fast. If they get proper start, you can play around that meta and start taking over towers. Similarly, though, for the side of Nemiga, if they get a good start here, especially with Techies and his gank potential, you could see the map become very dangerous. So the entire map, I would say, is really, really volatile here.
So volatile laning matchups. Volatile map state as we break down lanes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's chaotic indeed. Well, down at bottom, Morphling already getting tagged up. Venomous Gale, some punches, but no bashes yet. There we go. Speak of the devil, and he shall come and whack you in the face. Spirit Breaker, yeah, bullying back Techies and Morphling already early days. Something it feels like you definitely needed to do in previous patches for the Veno. His first 3 levels feel very important to safeguard him. You know, similar to your Visage and these slow heroes who can lane well but need a little bit of help. What's the idea here for this Veno in terms of game plan, item build, picking him against the Morphling?
I mean, the Venomancer, I think overall is a lot about what we said in the draft there for controlling the initiations from Nemiga, stopping those. Item builds, I've seen people go for a ton of different things on Venomancer, so curious to see exactly what he wants to go. He could even be the one going for a Spirit Vessel. But he's starting out with the full Universal Hero style. Triple Circle, double Iron Branch, trying to get some last hit damage. I assume he's going to try and play a little bit towards scaling up and having his right-click matter. Bottom, a lot of damage here.
Yeah, Spirit Breaker. Gas back under his tower. Needed a blood grenade or something to be thrown out by the Techies there. Didn't have it. It's still a long walk back to base.
Grenade would actually have gone the kill there probably, but they have a grenade on top lane. Didn't have one bottom though.
Unfortunate. Yeah, Spirit Breaker is still level 1, so he's not able to like go fountain, charge out again into lane. He's going to have to TP there. And he's at level 2 pretty badly.
I think
up at top.
Yeah. Top. We see TB meta.
And going on Hellscream. Rubik has the magic stick and a fairy fire, but he's dead no matter what.
Yeah, even if he used his fair fire, he's gonna go down there. No way to get away from the TB when the Skywrath comes in with the slow there as well. It's a pretty strong slow, the concussive, 40%. So gives a lot of time for those right clicks to come in. I was gonna say bottom lane is probably not the best matchup, even though Venomancer can be an oppressive hero with harass. His last hit damage is too weak to contest Morphling. That's why we see right now the CS chart is just completely flying the way of Morphling.
Yeah.
17 and 7, 5 and 0. This lane is the lane that's being like the biggest difference right now. Obviously, we see Malrine pull some interesting, creep pull over here to get farm.
New tech, making another lane for himself. Ember Spirit's like, I want to get involved with this as well.
Get some experience at least. This is actually very common right now in the current meta. A lot of mid heroes that are steroid farmers like Magnus or Batrider in this case, who can farm camps plus jungle, will just pull creeps like this and go jungle. I've seen that done a lot.
Yeah, get the most you can out on the map. And what is it? Boots Blightstone for the Ember Spirit, so he can outrun the Sticky Napalm Firefly, and then do quite a lot of damage here with a slight spam onto the bat. So the idea is you're kind of chipping away at him, making him a little scared to go diving, and then having the speed to run away when he does. Morphling down bottom, pretty low on resources now. Yeah, they've run out of tangos and salves. Morphling does have boots and raindrop coming.
Yeah, his big timing is going to be getting that Morbid Mask to be able to have sustainability on the lane.
Oh, where's Spirit Breaker going? Into the Twin Gate and up to top. Charging Vazia. There's a Courier wandering on by, but the Doom is being focused down. Hellscream's going to get the snipe on the Courier, and it looks like Doom is tanky enough. Popped his wand, still has a Healing Lotus to play with. The Spirit Breaker's first real rotation there, not really accomplishing much apart from protecting the top lane, while down at bottom, Violent and So Bad kill off this Venomance. This is the thing, you leave him unprotected, he's still level 3 with no boots. He's very sad now.
Yeah, you can't really leave a Venomancer who doesn't have points in wards yet. Like, he has 0 point wards, because this is a normal build, right? 1, 2, 0 is normal skill protection. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna see Hellscream go down here, probably.
Yeah, straight back at it. Get in there, Spirit Breaker and Skywrath.
That's a normal skill progression, but he can't really solo lane against a Morphling that early with this. But I guess they're just trying to win the lane harder for Terrorblade, make sure that he's gonna have a good game. But that one chance they had to try and kill Doom there may have been very important. I'll try again.
Yeah, have another crack at it. Charge forward. This time, he's got the magic wand up. And Vazia's fine. A lot of emphasis put on this top lane, you're right. Tri-laning now into this Doom and Rubik. And this leaves things kind of spooky in the other lanes. You've left, like you're saying, Veno on an island. He's going to get his boots pretty soon, so maybe a bit of safety for him there. But this Ember Spirit getting quite a bit of space in the mid lane. Batrider just gone on a wander back to Fountain.
Yep, both of them getting level 6 around the same time as well. Ember is, kind of free farming, and Batrider playing mostly towards just ramping up his farm speed in jungle. Turning it around.
Yeah, I mean, Palantimos heals himself back up, but can't kill this Doom. He's too tanky and too speedy. He's got the Kobold speed aura.
And you know what? He has the Vanguard completed. There we go.
Yes.
The item of the patch. It's on him. He's going to be even tankier. Getting himself another Healing Lotus here. He's going to be just fine. So all those attempts to kill the Doom that failed, I think that was when it was easy to kill him. Now with the Vanguard in hand, it will be very hard to do any form of damage to him.
So difficult. Now we have the odds up on the screen. Nemiga favored, as they're the ones that have been dipping up and down between Div 2 and Div 1. And Waleikum, one of the newer teams coming up from Division 2. I see Palantimos just try and safeguard his wave, the farm as close to his tower as possible. What's he got coming on Courier? The brace is complete, now the treads are done, so he's tanking up a fair amount. But it looks like he's being left alone a bit here. Spirit Breaker's headed down back to bottom, where So Bad is blasting off onto Shogurat's Veno. A scary time for techies, though, getting turned on by this Spirit Breaker. Morphling trying to stand his ground and fight back. Sticky bombs are out. So Bad under tower might survive here with a Tango heal. Let's see how close he gets to death as the Morphling. Oh, the techies dies in the end. Couldn't heal himself enough.
Yeah, that was very... At the very end, 7 minutes, the Wisdom Rune top gets taken by Rubik, who's going to make it back to try and help his Doom again here. And looks like we're going to have a 1-for-1 on the first Wisdom Runes here as Bexan. He's going to secure the other one for Dire.
Good.
Top though. A lot of burn damage here for the TB.
It's so painful. He has maxed out Conjure Image, so the potential for him just to dip jungle. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I think he will soon. I mean, level 3 Scorched Darts now. Next one is going to burn so badly. They'll try and stay here in lane. Maybe they need Spirit Breaker to come over there again. He's heading for the Warp Gate, possibly.
And so actually, is So Bad
coming in. Yeah. Could be a tower dive coming up here.
I guess what we've got. Level 2 Sticky. Sticky Bomb, that is. It should be more clear there with a Batrider in the game. Palantimos is going to get dived under his tower.
is under attack.
Malorine and Chira having a bit of a battle down in the bottom river. Plantimos up top is getting blown up by the techies. Bat Rider looks like he's fine there. The TB dies. Well, Venomancer's made an appearance up here. Now he's in a 1v3. Spirit Breaker is just running away, but Venomancer dies, and they're TPing up slowly but surely. WALEIKUM are trying to come in, gather up whatever kills they can. It'll be a Rubik, but it's not worth their efforts in the end.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I like this Venomancer. He's going for the Spirit Vessel build, by the way, which is good against Morphling, like we mentioned. But he's going for the 0 points wards build, which you really need to dominate early game if you do this. You have to win every single engagement, right? Because he has no farm tool now, no way back into the game. So he's committed to winning fights now.
Yeah, they're gonna have to just keep running at them. Another Metamorphosis. Good blast off from So Bad. Stops them in their tracks. Not yet level 6 on Doom, so no real turnaround potential just yet. But yeah, you're right, Dak. One of the biggest strengths of Venomancer is that ability just to bunker in an area and say, I control this spot. I'm soft pushing your tier 1. If you want to stop me, you're going to have to walk through 20 wards.
Yeah, even possibly setting up, you know, wards on mid lane and let Ember rotate and fight with him. Bottom, we see a little goal on the Morphling. He's going to be fine, though. Nice timing on the wave for him.
Good dodge. Now Bat Rider's turn to make a move. Boots of travel up. Highest CS in the game. Top net worth. Bat Rider. Very, very scary man. At level, almost level 9 on this bat. Does force a couple of rotations in, and he's aiming for the Spirit Breaker. Vexan charges across the techies. Venomancer Sky getting a bit of magic damage onto So Bad, who thought about the blast off. Another forced rotation from the Dire team, as the Radiant just feel more comfortable. Wherever you look at them, they're not really stressed about anything.
And I like what I see here again. Malorine is going for the Seeds of Serenity as his neutral item, by the way. This item has been so buffed. I think it's really good. Obviously, we can't see exactly which options he had. But he should probably use it and drop down some healing right now.
Man, the Spirit Breaker is so sad. Getting lassoed up under tower. Did get off the bulldoze, so the lasso didn't last that long. Maybe you could argue it was a misplay by Malorine, but in the end he gets the kill, so we'll let it fly as a blast off comes flying in from So Bad. Mary gets back under tower while this Ember Spirit does turn back on the Rubik. Lifted into the mines though, and Chira Jr. is going to be very careful of where he's standing. Slight dodges one of the proxy mines. I think he's about to go back in with 12-1 charges. He could dive this with remnants and a nice slight. Well placed to kill off this Rubik in the end.
He's trying for him.
Can he get it?
I don't know. I'm not sure he can get this kill. He has a slight dodge again. He does have the blast off, but pretty dangerous.
Oh man, Vazzy just kills off the TB up top with Malorine. Bat Rider is all over the place.
The Doom gets used. Very nice there. Getting value for this big ulti. You don't want to hold it. You want to get chances to use it. And that puts him really close as well now to his Midas.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It just feels real bad for the Spirit Breaker that he's playing into two pretty low commitment spells with Flame Break and Telekinesis that can both just stop his charge coming in. Have you seen them used already very well to...
Even Adaptive Strike.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, there's a few things. It's not an easy Spirit Breaker game, actually.
They've got to keep their foot down. I mean, they're 5k behind now. I think
for now, Nemiga are just playing this laning stage way stronger. And a lot of it comes back to that bottom lane, right? Morphling, uncontested so far this game, has been free farming pretty much the entire game. Had a great start to the lane, and that has freed up so much rotations from Techies. Techies has not had to stay down here, so he's been involved. I think that's the big difference here.
Yeah, complete freedom for him. We're trying to smoke up to top. Skywrath doesn't have his ulti yet. Yeah, Doom incredibly tanky. And charge back down towards the Rubik at that top rune slot. Hellscream, stolen remnant. He looks like he's tanky enough just to get bonked on the head. And Malorine protects him.
Well, he can TP base and come back out with a remnant now, because he stole that. So always nice. He can do a little Ember play on Rubik.
Yeah, they're all fun. But this is the scenario where you're definitely worried as a Veno player. Like you said, now he's got 1 point in wards, but trying to farm out Ancients with these is a long, drawn-out battle. And he's
this Veno is a non-hero this game. They have to win the game without Veno, is almost what I want to say. Like, he's going to farm and try to recover, but recover into what? You're Veno. You know, you're not some some Terrorblade or whatever that's gonna come out and be super strong. Venno is usually a hero that wants to win early game, and this lane just didn't work out, so they need to... There's a lot of weight on Chera Jr.'s shoulders here on the Ember, and how they can
Dire's
combine
middle
him
tower is under
with the
attack.
Mystic Flare here, perhaps, of the Skywrath.
Yeah, they're going on the Doom again. Again, he's so tanky, though. See the Serenity on the floor. The tankies blasts off into the middle of them, and some good proxy mines as Vazzy getting battered by the Metamorphosis TB, but in comes the Rubik and the Bat. Kill off Palantimos, and Chera Jr. completely out of mana. Oh, he's got 18 one charges there to buy him a bit of time, but Remnants are on cooldown. He's going to lose his courier as well. I mean, it's just a disaster.
Dire's courier has been
Yeah,
killed.
Sleight of Fist spam from Rubik actually brings him down. Wait.
They keep it on going. I mean, Spiritbreaker and Venno thought they could maybe fight the Bat Rider. It's a decent Noxious Plague here, spreading damage onto them, but dies in the end no matter what. What's that, 4 for 1? Doom dies and says, all right, yeah, I've got Midas Devour. I'm going to go farm bot lane. See you, boys.
Yeah, and that's the second or third time we see the Venomancer try and rotate and come and help a situation, and just doesn't really have enough power to do anything. I think he's better off just maxing wards and try to farm back into this game somehow. I know that's really, you know, difficult to do when you have Terrorblade who wants to farm as well, but it's just the sad nature of things. You're not strong enough to have an impact right now. This Venomancer is close to getting taken over in net worth by the Rubik.
Yeah, like, if we think about the last 3 or 4 fights, you know, you lose one fight, 2k advantage for the enemy when you lose it. Then we're up to 5, now we're up to 9k lead for Nemiga.
Is under attack.
That's absurd. So fast. Yeah.
15 minutes in.
Level 4 Devour and a Midas spam going on. Morphling completely free
Radiant's
farming.
middle tower
And then
is
on
under
top of that,
attack.
Malrine has made a lot of good rotations, getting a lot of kills. It's just everything working out for them. They soon have BKB plus travels on that rider.
Yeah. So I find when you're in these situations where you've kind of drafted yourself this, you know, your position where you are full protect 1, you need your TB to get farmed. Do you keep bashing your head against the wall and keep smoke ganking, or do you sit back and try and trade objectives? You know, do you try and split push with TB and Ember Spirit?
Maybe what they need is to try and set up some form of bait and counter play, like either bait with the TB on the lane or bait with the Ember on the lane, and then be there already with a Venomancer and Skywrath combo, charge in with Spirit Breaker. Because a lot of times they're TPing in the Veno to react when something is happening, but if you want to commit hard for fighting, then you probably do need to bring Veno into an active stance of being there at the fight. Because Veno, the thing is damage over time doesn't really work that well if you arrive to the fight late. You're already wanting him to be really early in the fight just so the damage over time can tick and you actually win the fight off it. Because usually Veno does tons of damage. Even in fights where he didn't have much impact, he did tons of damage at the end. But a lot of it is after fights, so already lost. So you need him to be there from the start.
Oh, TB. This could be nasty if he gets lassoed up under the proxy mines. That is just disgusting. The pairing of Bat and Techies blowing him up as it looks like UALEIKUM want to come in and fight back. BKB's there for Malrine though. Half HP, tanking through the magic damage. And Beksan with another strike just to disengage, pushing Vazia away.
That was so clean. So bad definitely knows his way around this techie initiation from the looks of it.
Well, they're remnanting in with a Mystic Flare there. Vazia does get blown up. Good pick.
Is under attack. Dire's structures
Bring down the
are
Doom.
fortified.
Now the question is, can they do something more here? Meanwhile, offlane is being pushed and free farmed. Morphling is under a ward right now, but they don't really have the tools to bring him down.
Radiant's bottom tower. is
Yeah, now
under
he's got that
attack.
Manta stall, so the one big threat in that Ancient Seal not gonna be too scary anymore.
I think Morphling is not scared of anything right now in the entire game. Like, he can probably go into like 4 heroes and maybe even get away from that with just waveform.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I
is
mean,
under
the Dire need to get some tower pushing going. They're trying to force out this tier 1 with Orb of Corrosion on Chira, but I guess about half HP.
Radiant's middle tower. is
He
under
didn't silence on Rubik there. Got the lift off, but
Radiant's middle
didn't use the
tower
Ancient
has
Seal that he had stolen
Ooh.
on the Ember. I guess Ember had an Illusion Rune anyway, so he could probably just have Manta dispelled it. But they needed to just set up long enough that Doom could get his ulti out on him.
Oh, there's potential there.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Now they've got
attack.
this ward on the right-hand side, so they see the sky, see into enemy ancients, give Morphling another pocket here where he can just stand freely, hit towers. Oh god,
TP
TB.
deny.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah. Could have given it a try. TB's going to get run at now, though. They've come through the twin gate. Oh, they meet the Spirit Breaker. Beksan tanking it for his Terrorblade. Pretty simple takedown is Firefly and stack up the napalm.
Poor Baxon. He was farming in lane, and then he sees behind him that his ward on the cliff is being dewarded. And he's like, uh-oh, they're close to me.
Where do I go?
And he had no time to get out because he charged into the creep wave.
Well, we can kill the tankies here and guard the regen rune.
Tower is under attack.
Couple of little things going their way. Still 10k behind, but this is room to breathe.
Yeah, they need to somehow open up the map a little bit for themselves to just get control. They need to get this D-ward again on the top cliff. TV wants to farm that area.
Oh, this Bat Rider, hey. He's going to have Octarine pretty soon.
Yeah, he's huge.
People's
He's very
gift.
huge.
Give me a tier
Gift
2
will
items.
give him a little bit of extra
Tower
stats
is
there.
under attack.
Not too bad. I mean, for now it just feels like the hopes of UALEIKUM is that they actually get their Ember to be strong as well. He's working on a BKB. Once he has that, you know that they have to kind of commit Doom for him. And maybe they can take a fight around like BKB plus Manta timing. But Nemiga are not slowing down. They're just going straight to Roach. They know they're already powerful. They already hit their timings. And while UALEIKUM are waiting to hit those key components, they don't need to sit around. They just go for Roach.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of like this from them, though, on the Dire side, where then, you know, it wasn't a BKB rush from Ember Spirit. It wasn't build up a bunch of, you know, braces and Wraith Bands on the Venomancer. Spirit Breaker's going straight Ags. You've got straight Pipe on Veno. Maelstrom BKB for the Ember. They're going for items which will give them a timing, like you say, around this TB timing. They're trying to synchronize everyone together, so everyone will be strong at the same time. It'll give them a much better fighting chance with bigger tier items across all their heroes.
When they get full vessel as well on the Veno, that would be a nice thing. So 460 gold for him. I think they do have to forfeit the top tier 2 though. They're not quite ready to defend that.
Dire's top tower is under
Just let it go. And he can't dive the bat bottom either. So he gets a couple of free waves coming to him. And Spirit Breaker got some farm in the mid lane. Now 1,000 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter, which is a huge upgrade for Bexan.
Yeah, surprisingly many timings for them coming in here, even though they're so far behind in gold. So yeah, maybe they can play around that. Meanwhile though, Nemiga, of course, they have the same thing happening. They've got the Greaves now complete on Doom. He's working on Pipe next. Here comes the smoke though. Looking for a fight.
Radiant
Oh, they get scanned. Still pinging out this Doom. I don't know if that was Vazia pinging himself, saying, hey, I'm farming this one wave. It's a little risky, but money.
Their heroes can't really pick off once the opponents have dispels, though, is the thing. How do you kill any of the cores with your drafts? Bottom, solo kill.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Tekis was there, but all he did was Solar Crest, and that's going to be enough. How do you kill any of these heroes when they have Manta, or Greaves, or BKB to dispel your initiation? You can charge in. I guess you kind of have to burst them during a charge into Nether Strike, and then like TB to hit with meta during that time or something. But other than that, their kill threat is extremely low right now on Dire. The timing for Skywrath to be solo killing stuff with like Spirit Breaker setting up is kind of over.
Ah, it's another one of those situations where TB is going to have difficulties choose. Oh, the Wisdom Rune steal. Hey, give me the high five. Is Bexan going to die for this? Do you want to spend Lasso? Yeah, you do. Make him pay for it.
He stole your Wisdom Rune. You're definitely not letting him get away from this.
You pest.
bottom tower is under attack.
Well, that's a Wisdom Rune in a different form for Malrine, I guess. It's the experience of that solo kill.
Yeah, sure does. Violent just sat on a tier 2 bottom. Not a care in the world. Holding Aegis, Manta and Lincoln's. Completely untouchable.
Yeah, this Morphling is not really worried about anything right now. He doesn't even have lifesteal in his inventory right now.
Oh, now we've got the Plague Ward steal. Hell Scream's going to start spamming them out.
Dire's bottom tower has
The
fallen.
ward on ward war begins.
Wardfare.
It's a nice control spell for Rubik to have. Get a lot of vision. You can cast them from really far away, so it's pretty convenient.
Alright, they're just going to be gathering up their forces and it looks like playing is 5. No need to split the map, just consolidate everything together. Try and force your opponents into a fight when you know you're stronger. 15k ahead. Odds reflecting that tremendously. 9-1 basically. Huge advantage here for Nemiga.
This is a rough spot to be in right now. They need to play under some form of vision where they can fight. UALEIKUM, they do have 2 wards all the way down bottom, but they're going to get choked out of the map right now. losing all these tier 2 towers. Nemiga are just gonna play very upfront and aggressive. They're gonna take control over these ancient camps, and at that point, they're just gonna fly ahead even faster. So it's a tough spot to be in for UALEIKUM, because when you're behind, normally you look to one of two things. Either you farm your way back into it by having a stronger late game carry, which you don't really have, because morphling into TB is a pretty good matchup, right? Or you look for ganks, but like we've already discussed so much, their ganks are not that threatening right now. They do have the Aghanims completing just now for Spirit Breaker, so he'll be a little bit more reliable, I guess, but it doesn't even change that much.
He can't get his career to the secret shop, though.
Yeah.
There's Rubik Plague Wards everywhere. There's a Morphling stealing your Tormentor, with a Doom and Techies helping out. Tormentor down, so Doom gets the Ag Shard.
Dire are scanning.
Goodness.
They already have the shard on Techies, of course. It's a very powerful shard that he picked up earlier.
Yeah, super good against this TB.
Oh yeah, very good for protecting. Batrider finds a pick.
Yeah, there's a couple of heroes on the dire side up here. But with Morphling arriving, there's just no chance to really answer that aggression. Well, Spirit Breaker, he did finish his Aghanim Scepter though, so I guess he dies to go to the secret shop to buy that point booster.
Yeah, he walked in there a little bit too far, and that's just the Venom Ward steals pretty much.
The charge from Morphling. He's coming. He's onto Shogaran. Venomancer under his tier 3 felt safe, but my god, he's not. And now away for me. They missed the blast off. Bit of damage onto Mary, but it's just turning us into a high ground push now. Already glyph forced out. Your two heroes down on UALEIKUM, and yeah, violent. 5-0-0. Lincoln's Manta uses it all to stay protected. Batrider's going to come in here as well, and they're going to force the issue.
He has that Blink Dagger too on Batrider.
And there it is. Blink Lasso straight onto the Ember Spirit. Charge is coming, but it's cancelled out in the end by the Flame Break. This is tragic for them. They can buy back on Ember, but at this point, you have to glyph, maybe delay the mid lane push. But in the end, I think you're just going to have to let it fall. Defend another lane another time.
Not going for Manta on Palantir. Was trying to go for a Lincoln Sphere here, but at the end of the day, he doesn't have any item really for this fight. Just has Dragon and the Yasha and an Ultimate Orb. There it is. Lincoln's complete now at least. Very good against Doom and Batrider for sure, but
God,
they could also just break it.
But Waga, the Morphling's got Aghanim Scepter coming already. He's just massive. I mean, Dire are trying to force the fight outside of their base. Lincoln's is there, protects TB from the lasso. Blast off misses too. And they've killed the Venomancer off. Another charge in. The Spirit Breaker, very aggressive. Under the eyes of the Doom and the Morphling. Just waveform in again. Oh, this might just be over. Ember Spirit's diving, but like you're saying, with all the protection they've got with BKBs and Greaves, everything to dispel off these chains and ancient seals, there just doesn't seem to be any form of damage or lockdown the Dark can throw the way of the Radiant that can actually win a fight. They're just getting waveformed on and killed off. Palangimos down, Violence in deep, and GG's called. 26 minutes in. This one-way street of a game will come to an end.
The strongest charges in this game were from Morphling. Like, we didn't really see that much charge ganking from the Spirit Breaker. We did see some at the end there, but all of it was coming from the Morphling, really. He was, of course, feeling very confident, very brave to just go in. And the nice thing is, he can use that status resistance from the W as well, turn back into Morphling, right-click a lot, and keep that status rest to keep himself alive. But yeah, very dominant performance here. I mean, didn't look like UALEIKUM really had a way back into the game after that horrendous bottom lane. I'm gonna go back to that because that's really what dictated this entire game, is the fact that Morph had a free lane and Veno couldn't do anything. I think that's a mismatch up. Veno doesn't actually bully a Morphling in laning stage because continuous low amount of damage is fine by Morphling. He can regenerate through that with his use of the stat shifting afterwards. You know, tank it for a while, then just hide in Fog War, shift around, and you're fine. You need something that bursts him, something high damage, something violent, you know, not something slow like this. But they didn't quite have that.
No, they didn't. I mean, and then they also have the Doom. You know, this is a topic that's been brought up recently by Quinn. He's the money printing Lucifer man. Ridiculous stuff, just getting tons of gold with the Devouring Midas. And you give him a decent laning stage with no real kill threat on him. How many times did he escape death in the top lane? 2, 3 times? Then you got Vanguard and was like, cool. Nice.
Yeah. the fact that he lived those fights where he didn't have Vanguard was really clutch. And a lot of it was, you know, just his positioning was clean. He also had that magic stick baiting his enemy a lot of the times. And the fact that he did bait the enemy to commit on him and go for those long chases and then get nothing for it is also a big play. So yeah, Vazia, I think, played really, really well here on his Doom. Overall, Nemiga just looked like the more well-composed team here.
Yeah.
But maybe UALEIKUM, if they didn't have that, you know, struggle getting into the game with the tough laning stage, then they could make more plays. Because right now, I didn't see who they could make plays around. Normally, it is your offlaner that you want to kind of rally your team around. And that Venno just didn't fill that role.
He didn't. We'll see if they can change things up, though. Game 2 right around the corner, coming your way after this break.